Hello and good evening. I am Alphonso McGriff III, and this is Alphonso Speaks. And this is a platform we use to promote the conscious conversation experience is a collaboration and movement that chooses love and enlightenment. I'd like to remind you that the Taste of the Caribbean Arts and Culture Connecticut Inc. presents the Hartford, Connecticut's Taste of the Caribbean Jerk Festival Saturday, August 1st. That's a week from this Saturday down at the riverfront. It's going to be live entertainment. It's going to be good food. It's going to be great music, great people, great environment, great atmosphere. And it's also an area for the little ones. And you don't want to miss it. I mean, it doesn't cost anything. So you want to come hang out and have a good time. Again, the Taste of the Caribbean Arts and Culture Connecticut Incorporated presents Hartford, Connecticut's Taste of the Caribbean Jerk Festival. Saturday first, home at the riverfront. So if you can, come hang out with us. I'll definitely be there hanging out myself and working and doing everything I can to help make it happen and be a great experience for everyone involved. So, and also, I just want to remind people that if you need me to speak with your young people, I will. If you need me to speak with you, I will. I am open for having conscious conversations individually or with groups, young, children, it doesn't matter. I feel like I have some wonderful things to offer that can make a difference in the lives of people. I'm tired of seeing us fighting and arguing and hurting each other. And I think we can make better decisions. And I'd like to offer some of those ideas and opportunities to make better decisions. And as I'm sharing information, if you have any questions, please place them in the comment section. And, just ask questions about anything that I say. And it's good. We can have a conscious conversation right here. I am one who believes that whenever I'm in a conscious conversation, I make sure I'm involved in the conscious conversation. It's good to have the cooperation of others, but I only need me, to have a conscious conversation. I don't need the cooperation of anyone because if the conversation is typical and it's about fighting and winning and name calling and angry, I have the option not to participate. And that in itself is also part of a conscious conversation. Having the ability and know how to back out of a conversation if it's not getting anywhere. If we're not talking about resolution, which is the successful solving of a problem. If we're not talking about resolution, why continue arguing in circles? So at all times that I choose to, I can have a conscious conversation. My goal and objective is to always choose to have a conscious conversation. It doesn't matter who it's with. It's up to me for me to have one. I can't control anyone else. I only have the opportunity to control me. I'm here to help myself and people around the world transform conflict into conscious conversation that leads to understanding, resolution, and delight. Again, for anyone who's interested in having a conscious conversation, individually or with a group, I'm open for it. Just let me know. The only thing I ask for is some water and some red grapes with seeds. And actually, I'm not sure unless somebody can truly educate on how seedless grapes are unhealthy for me, let me know. But red grapes with or without seeds. But that's all I require: some water and some grapes with or without seeds, and we can get our conscious conversation. Uh, I'm interested in sharing the information, and I feel like I have so much to share. Because at this point, at this stage in in my awesomeness, I have no problem sharing the information for some water and some red grapes with or without seeds. And I say in all of my awesomeness because I hope everybody feels that same way about themselves. Everyone needs to project awesomeness and feel it. And when it's stated, I know I do. So I think that's a good thing. What is the conscious conversation? A conscious conversation is a verbal interaction where we speak with the desire to understand. We ask questions and share information. We take responsibility for our thoughts, words, and actions and control our prejudices and emotions, which, if left unchecked, will disrupt the goal of having a conscious conversation. The strength of a conscious conversation is its ability to inspire rather than manipulate. Ultimately, conscious conversation experience is a pathway to understanding, resolution, and that's what we're about. Understanding, resolution, and I've learned that developing myself can lead to unnecessary challenges with insecure people who are intimidated by those with a sense of self. It's not our problem. It is consequences and challenges associated with growth. We're going to run into people who have a problem with the fact that we're growing and evolving, especially in many cases, it could be the people who are closest to you. They want you to stay the same way. Remember when we was in high school? We in our 50s and 60s, and people, and that person want us to stay the same person we were when we were in high school. Memories there's nothing wrong with memories. Hmm. Excuse that, young. There's nothing wrong with memories, but the idea of continuing to maintain the same consciousness and mindset uh, that I had in high school, that's not and like I said, those of us who are interested in having conscious conversations, we are trying to remain sexy. So tonight's thought, I am willing to have a conscious conversation about. Tonight's thought, I am willing to have a conscious conversation about. Oh man, I'm still yawning. Gee whiz. The one love experience. I would like to share the one love experience because I'm constantly hearing about this love, and I just saw a promotion for what is it called? It's a this brother Ace Metaphor is on tour with a group of people who are promoting an event called Tonight's Conversation: Love, Sex, and Relationships Tour. Tonight's Conversation: Love, Sex, and Relationships the tour. And I'm always intrigued by conversations about love because I never hear what I'm about to share with you tonight as it relates to love. Now, I've always had challenges with the so-called love that many of us participate in. And I never really wanted any parts of that kind of love that was going on because People were driving each other crazy with this love business. Oh, I'm so in love. Oh, I love so bad it hurts. Oh, I love too hard. Oh, I love hard, and all of this stuff. Um, and this event called Tonight's Conversation, they're going to be in Hartford, Connecticut on, I think it's on November. I think it's in November. They're going to be in Hartford, Connecticut. And I want to go see it just to see what it's like, just to see, because I can tell you right now, this form of love they're talking about is entertainment. It's not really, it's not going to be anything about, you know, love that's going to really help people understand and get through challenging times as it relates to love. So the love they're going to be discussing is about entertainment, just like it said, just like the flyer said. Because anytime Black people get together and talk about love, it winds up being love, sex, and relationships. It winds up being the Black women against the Black men, and then the Black men against the Black women, and then everybody's trying to one up each other. And it's and I'm curious as to whether it's not it's going to be the same thing. So I actually bought a ticket, and I'm going to go see it and see what it's about. And but tonight I want to share with you my understanding of love. And this understanding of love that I'm sharing tonight is not something that I read in the book. It's not anything that I've heard anybody else say. Not that any other people aren't saying the same thing. I haven't heard anyone else say it. And so I like to share this understanding of love, and I shared part of it, well, I don't know, a couple of weeks back maybe. But I'm going to share the entire thought about love that I have. Now, let me say two things. Well, let me say one thing first. There is love according to me. This is not necessarily the truth. There is love that is love, and then there is love that is being identified as love, but it's actually energy and frequency and vibration. So there is love that is love, and then there is love that is frequency and energy and vibration. That's being identified as love. And anytime I hear somebody talking about love, I could feel comfortable saying maybe 10 times out of 10, the love they're talking about is the frequency and energy and vibration that is being identified as love. And according to me, that is not love. You have two sides. You got love, and then you got what's identified as love. Okay? So this love that we consistently identifying as love is a love that is rooted in frequency and vibration. And what I mean is you vibe with somebody and you find yourself on the same frequency and feel the same energy and vibration. And it evokes emotions. And we call that love. And when the frequency is really, really high, we're like just floating. It's just a beautiful thing. And we call that in love. And then when the frequency is really beautiful, and the energy and the vibe is we get married because we're convinced that we love each other because we have this feeling. Now, what we're identifying as love here, according to me, is not love. It's a frequency of energy and vibration. And that frequency is what affects our feelings and make us feel a certain way. When we're vibrating at a high frequency, we feel really good. And when we're vibrating at a low frequency, we don't feel so good. So when this love that's been identified for years and years and years and years, could be centuries, could be thousands of years. But what we call love today is more frequency of energy and vibration. And that for me, it's not love. It is a frequency, and it is real because we feel it, and it is real because it affects our emotions. So, for instance, you get with somebody and y'all are vibrating at a high frequency, and your emotions get all involved, and y'all really think this is it. We're in love, but you haven't really met somebody that you really vibrate with. You kind of accepted the person, y'all get along, y'all respect each other, y'all have a good time, y'all you great at y'all managing your money together, y'all taking trips. You're just having a really good life, and the relationship is beautiful. And then something happens. One day, one of the people in this relationship, they mess around and catch that frequency with somebody that's so freaking compatible. They've never felt nothing like this before. And a high compatible frequency is way different from a common frequency where people vibe together and get along together and enjoy life together. It's two different things. When you cross a, when you come across somebody with an extremely compatible frequency, that's when people start putting their names on the line. That's when people start saying, "Well, how could you, how could you do that? Y'all had everything. Y'all were doing so well. How could you?" I'm telling you, that compatible frequency can be so intense. People start looking both ways, thinking maybe I need to find out what this is. And then in most cases, according to me, it's not necessarily the truth. But in most cases, the other person trying to figure out what this is too. So they have to at least find out what in the hell is going on. And what I'm saying is going on, that is just human nature, where sometimes when certain people cross each other's path, that frequency is so compatible and so high, either one or both people got to find out what it's about. They have to. They never felt this before, and they have to. And to anybody who doesn't understand, they go crazy because in most cases, people sacrifice a lot of stuff to explore this feeling. Some people, on rare occasions, have the discipline to know that this compatibility and this frequency is so freaking high that it's no way it can stay like that. And what's going to happen when that frequency changes? And then I done lost every, so some people think about it before they mess around and find out what's going over there, what's going on over here with that highly compatible frequency. And so what I'm saying is the frequency is real, the vibration is real, the energy is real. And the feelings associated with all of that, the emotions are real, but it's not love. It's the innate nature of human beings. Sometimes we vibe at a high frequency, a high compatible frequency, and sometimes we don't. And then sometimes we have a common frequency that we vibrate on, and we get together, and it's a beautiful thing, and we rock and roll. We do our thing. But that's not love, according to me. Because if that frequency changes with one person or the other person, now the relationship is kind of shaky because the frequency changed. See, the thing about energy and frequency can change sometimes. Energy is there, vibration is there, but the frequency is changed. And when that one person or the other person, that person's frequency changes, then it throws the whole thing off. Everything gets thrown off. Unless there's some way one or both people can figure out how to get back on that same compatible frequency. Because a compatible frequency is compatible emotions and good emotions. An incompatible frequency is incompatible emotions and negative emotions. But it's not a matter of falling out of love or in love. That's a frequency conversation. Frequency is real, the feelings are real. Now, when the frequencies become incompatible and you have to make decisions about your life, this is where the mistake happens because we believe this is love that we're dealing with. Many of us make emotional decisions in most cases that don't work out in our best interest. And that's one of the biggest reasons why it can't be love because these emotional decisions don't demonstrate self love. In most cases, these emotional decisions demonstrate that we are in no condition emotionally to make those decisions. So it's best for us to move over here to what I call the one love experience. And the true love is located over here with the one love experience, not over there with frequency and emotional decisions. Because over here with the one love experience, when you make decisions, they are going to be in your best interest. When you're over here in frequency and you're making emotional decisions, the odds are not good that those decisions will be in your best interest. So let's go over here with one love experiences. The first thing as it relates to the one love experience is I have to completely accept myself. I have to completely accept myself, the good, the bad, the ugly, the flaws, not torture myself when I make mistakes and all of that kind of stuff. Just fully accept me and everything that comes with me and everything I am. If we can't fully accept ourselves, then love cannot be a part of how we describe ourselves. At minimum, we have to be able to fully accept ourselves. And number two, we have to fully accept reality and everything it entails. One of the challenges we have is when we identify somebody as friend, a family, a loved one, then they don't meet our expectations. and we have a difficult time dealing with that and accepting that, then it just starts making life miserable for us. But if we can accept who a person is, especially when they show us, and then move based on what we understand and what we've learned, that's what life is about. Everything we do, even when we get it wrong, we should learn from it so we can move forward under a better set of circumstances. So the first things with the one love experience, the first two things, fully accept ourselves and fully accept reality and everything. I am not out here engaging in a fight about race because race issues have been a part of the reality of this situation for my entire life. I'm not going to be in denial about it, and I'm not going to be wasting my life out here battling against it. Now, I know some people might have some challenges with that, but that's cool because you have a right to have challenges with it because we're all different. But I will not be in a fight or a scuffle or anything about so-called racism. It's here. It's here to stay. It's not going anywhere. And based on what I've read and watched on video, it was here long before I got here, and it's best for me to understand that it'll probably be here long after I leave this. But right now in this lifetime, the valuable aspect of my life, I will not use one valuable moment of my life in a battle fighting about racism. I've accepted that where I live here in America, there will always be what people identify as racism. Now, um, either tomorrow, no, I won't be on tomorrow night, but Monday, I think I talk about racism, and I get more in detail about why I don't believe in racism. Tonight, I'm just talking about the idea of racism and being in a fight about it, being upset about it, making videos about it. I would never do those things because the reality that I'm in is such that it's been here, it's going to always be here. So I fully accept that reality. The beautiful thing about accepting reality about life, about situations, about people, is once you accept the reality about them, then you can come up with a plan on how to deal with it and keep getting on with life and keep growing and evolving and learning and becoming enlightened and be sexy. Be sexy too. You can be sexy. That's right. So, so that's why it's so important to fully accept life and reality and people for whoever they are and whatever they represent. Just fully accept. And then have the courage to make a decision as to whether or not it's something you can deal with personally in your own life. But if it's something that's not going on in your own life, you have control over it. You can control you. I can control me. But fully self, number one, fully accept reality and everything it entails. Number two. Now, one love experience, those are the first two things we have to have. And then there are these five essential questions. And I'm talking about love. This is the love side. The other side was the frequency and emotions. This is the love over here. That's why it's called the one love experience. This love side is where we make solid decisions because we are moving from a solid foundation that works in our best interest. So there are these five essential questions. I keep repeating this because it's so important. The one love experience. First, we have to fully accept ourselves. Then we have to fully accept reality and everything it entails. And now we have the five essential questions which complete the one love experience. The five essential questions. Do I like myself? Can I walk out of the shower, soaked and towel dry, and look at myself and like me with no complaints, with no criticisms. Just know that that is me. I can I do that? That's the first of the five essential questions. And all of this is about love, real love, not over here with frequency, over here where the real love is. Can I walk out of the shower, soaked, towel dry from head to toe, and not have any criticisms or insecurities? See, a lot of us that's tough, but I'm talking about what love is. This is real love, right? When you hear me use the word love and I say choose love, I'm talking about this over here. I'm not talking about frequency on the other side. I'm talking about this. The second of the five essential questions, do I love myself? Do I treat myself with dignity? Do I treat myself with dignity? Do I love myself? The third question is, do I respect myself? It means, do I put myself first at all times? Now, if you tell the average person they don't have any respect for themselves, we'll be on social media getting shot and going by because nobody wants to be told they don't have any self-respect. However, if I accept something that I don't like for an extended period of time, then during that time I am compromising my self-respect because I haven't made a decision that's in my own best interest. Do I respect myself? Do I put myself first at all times? Well, Mike, I put my kids first. No. If you don't take care of yourself and you are raggedy, your hair all twisted to the left, your body out of order because you're just eating anything whenever you get a chance, always tired and wore out. No, no, it's not. You are no good to the kids if you operate in that condition. Do I respect myself? Meaning, do I put myself first at all times? So no, you can't do the thing where you say, "No, I put my kids first." No, no, it's not gonna work. Because if you put your kids first, you don't have any self-respect. How about that? You put your grandkids first, you don't have any self-respect. You put your great grandkids before you put yourself, you have no self-respect. Because you're not going to your grandkids or your great grandkids if if you are haggard and wore out, unhealthy and tired all the time and not taking care of yourself, I can be no good to kids or grandkids or any of that. So do I respect myself? So the first of the five essential questions, do I like myself? Second is, do I love myself? Third is, do I respect myself? This is the love side. The fourth question is, do I take full responsibility for myself? Have I eliminated shame, blame, guilt, and fear out of my life? See, we make decisions, and as a result of our decisions, there things happen. And we no, I keep saying we. Let me just keep it on me. I cannot continue to blame my reality on other people. I cannot let people make me shame because I made a mistake. I cannot let people blame me for their issues. I can't allow people to guilt me into a certain behavior, and I can't walk around here scared of anybody for any reason. Do I take full responsibility for myself or not? There's no middle areas, no gray areas. Either I do or I don't. And if I take full responsibility for myself, I don't play the shame, blame, guilt, fear game. I don't get involved in none of that. It's me. I made some decisions. I made choices. I have to deal with those decisions and choices the best way I know how and continue to learn from them, the good and the bad. And question number 5 is, do I know myself? My thoughts, words, and actions demonstrate that I like myself, love myself, respect myself, take full responsibility for myself, and make the best decisions for myself. That's number 5. Do I know myself? The most beautiful thing, it's it is easy, and I guess for some people it's not as easy as it seems. But when you know yourself, we demonstrate it all the time. We can walk into a flower shop and we just know those flowers are not. When you know yourself, you're not upset about it. You don't have to raise your voice. You're not uncomfortable. You're clear. When we know ourselves, we are clear when we know ourselves. And we all, and I've demonstrated that I know myself in many cases, many times. And then there are times when I fell into the shame, blame, guilt, fear game, not taking full responsibility for myself, compromising my self respect, not demonstrating self love. See, when we know ourselves, there's no indecision. We know exactly what we want and what we don't, what we like and what we don't like. So, how we address these 5 essential questions represent the best base for making well thought out decisions. And these 5 questions, along with fully accepting self and fully accepting reality and everything entails, this is where the love is located. So now, when you come across somebody and y'all have a highly compatible frequency, energy, vibration, and your emotions get tied up in that frequency, that's real. That ain't love. That's frequency. The decisions you make while in that frequency determine if there is love there or not, and if you have love for yourself or not. But there's no love located on the frequency side where the feeling is so good and so mutual. And we vibing, and that emotion connected to that frequency is so good. It feels so good. That's not love. That's frequency. Now, when the frequency changes in one person or the other person, and things go different, that's not, oh, love can be so painful. No, what's painful? Why? The reason why it's painful, because you're not engaging in the true love over here with these 5 questions and these 2 acceptances. Because if you're clear with these 5 questions, then you know what kind of decisions you have to make, even when you're in an emotional state. But if your emotions are deciding the decisions, because, or if my emotions are deciding for me what to do, because I've been taught that these emotions are love. No, these emotions are connected to the frequency. But the decisions determine whether there's some love there for yourself or not. Because this love don't have anything to do with anybody else. according to me, the love I'm talking about never has anything to do with anybody else. How I feel about somebody over here on this other side, frequency of energy and vibration, how I feel, that's a different thing. And that can be sometimes, and sometimes it's not wonderful. And sometimes it can be extremely emotional. But I have to have enough love over here on the other side when I have to make decisions about my feelings over here in this frequency area, then I make sound decisions based on the love I have for myself. I'm not sure if you're rocking with me, if you understand it, but this is the love that makes sense to me. And this is a love that I think can be so productive if we got a handle on it. But I must say, I know how hard, how difficult it can be because this we've been taught about this frequency love for centuries. But the true love is not in that frequency. The true love is located over here on this side in the one love experience. That's what love is. And believe it or not, I know based on what we've been taught, this might be hard. But love has nothing to do with another person. Absolutely nothing. It just doesn't. The feelings we have connected to frequency. You're in a high vibration and high frequency, you feel good. Low vibration and low frequency, you don't feel good. But that's not the place where we make important decisions from. Any emotional place. Important decisions are made over here with the one love experience based on these five essential questions and these two key concepts. And solid decisions can be made from this place because it's about how much, whether or not we love ourselves. The love is located here. So I just wanted to put that on the table. And I'm going to just go over it real quick. You got the right side and you got the left side. On the right side, you have frequency of energy and vibration and emotions. On the left side, you have the one love experience. So on the right side, you have this wonderful frequency that evoke good emotions because that wonderful compatible frequency is the high frequency. So naturally, the emotions are going to be wonderful and possible and positive. We've been taught to call that love, and it's not, according to me. And what I'm saying might not necessarily be true. We've been taught to call that love. And then over here on the other side, with the one love experience, where we talk about fully accepting self, fully accepting reality, asking ourselves, do I like myself? Do I love myself? Do I respect myself? Do I take full responsibility for myself? And do I know myself? When we begin answering these questions and becoming more clear about the answers to these questions, this is how love is intensifies and our decisions become better and better. And so when the frequency over here on the right side changes, we don't start making sad love songs talking about how much love hurt. Love doesn't hurt. Liking myself doesn't hurt. Loving myself doesn't hurt. Respecting myself doesn't hurt. Taking full responsibility for myself doesn't hurt. And knowing myself doesn't hurt. Fully accepting myself and everything I represent doesn't. Fully accepting reality doesn't hurt. This is where the love is. Love don't hurt. Frequencies change, and when those frequencies change, emotions change. and the frequency goes from high to low, and naturally there's a not a wonderful feeling as it goes low, but that is not when we make the decisions that are best for ourselves when we're at a low frequency and low emotional state. That's why it's not love. It's just frequency. And not I don't mean just frequency like to diminish the meaning and understanding of frequency. I say it's just low frequency because it's not love. Love is located over here on the left with the one love experience. When we make decisions based on these five essential questions and we fully accept ourselves and fully accept reality and everything it entails and everybody in it. And it's not easy. I'm working on it myself. I'm literally working on all of these things myself because this love is new to me, but I'm learning that it is the best love I can have because it helps me make best decisions for me. I can't allow myself to be in a situation that I don't like for an extended period of time. For any reason, for anybody, mainly because I have too much respect for myself to do that. That would be compromising my self-respect. So when groups of people get together and talk relationships like tonight's conversation, love, sex, and relationships, it's going to be here in Hartford in the fall at the convention center. I can't remember what the date is in Hartford. When they're talking about love, they're over here on the right hand side. And when you're on the right hand side calling that love, then it's a lot to talk about. It's a lot of things to entertain about when we speak in terms of love over there on that side, on the right hand side. So so they're gonna be here entertaining people, talking about relationships and uh, all of that kind of stuff. And I'm that's entertainment and it's cool and it's nothing wrong with being entertained. But uh, I'm I'm trying to look for the date. Okay. On Sunday, November 8th, they're going to be in Hartford. It's called Tonight's Conversation Live and Uncut. Tonight's Conversation Live and Uncut, where they talk about love and relationships, and they engage in the frequency side of so-called love and entertainment. It's going to be November 8th at the convention center. I'm going to go because I want to see how they set this whole thing up. I already know if they're talking about love on the frequency side, the only thing it can be is entertainment because it's not taking people to a real space to truly, according to me, truly understand themselves and love themselves. But the big secret about the one love experience is that it has nothing to do with so-called love, anybody else. How we feel about people is located in frequency. It's located in frequency and vibration. So I wanted to put the table for a conscious conversation. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments. Tonight's question, in what ways do I make decisions? In what ways do I make decisions that hurt me? Do I create reasons to not be honest with myself and others, including friends, family, and loved ones? Do I create reasons to not be honest with myself and others, including friends, family, and loved ones? This, if you say yes, this is one of those questions. If you say yes to, then it's just going to lead to a lot of misery. part of self-love is telling the truth as much as possible, rather than creating reasons to not tell the truth. It's as simple as that, because being honest with people, it's going to come back and visit. It's going to come back and visit. So I don't think it's sexy to create reasons to not be honest with myself, others, include myself and others, including friends, family, and loved ones. That's not cool. It's not sexy. And when we do that, we create reasons to not be honest with ourselves, then we're setting ourselves up for just a miserable existence. And that's a bad decision. So I just wanted to put those things on the table, just to remind you that the Taste of the Caribbean Arts and Culture Connecticut Inc. presents Hartford, Connecticut Taste of the Taste of the Caribbean Journey Festival, Saturday, August 1st, down at the riverfront. It's going to be a beautiful experience. If you can, it's a week from this Saturday, August 1st. So if you can, you should make it out. And also, if you want to have a conscious conversation, individual or group, young people or more mature people, let me know. I'm not asking you for any money or anything. The only request I have is for some water and some red grapes, seeded or seedless. Um, and I'm not sure what's wrong with seedless grapes. If somebody can enlighten me one day, because I like them both. Red grapes, seedless, and with seeds. So tonight we talked about the one love experience versus frequency of energy and vibration. If you didn't get to hear the whole thing, you might want to check this out from the beginning and really get into it, because I'm introducing another understanding of love. It's called the one love experience. So you could be doing anything right now in this very moment, and you chose to give me some time in your life. I do not take it for granted. I love you all, and I always will, and I will never give up on our people, and I will never engage in a roundtable discussion talking reckless about our people, because we all have room to improve. Have a good night. Peace.